started here tonight to ask you, the very first question I have to ask you is how many of you have ever seen me before? Have you seen me before? Raise your hand right up in the air. Oh, right here. Put your hands down. How many of you have never seen me before? Raise your hand.
Mostly everyone.
Excellent. Put your hands down. How many of you is this the very, very first time for not seeing me again? Raise your hand. Oh, wait a minute. That gets confusing, doesn't it?
Oh, wait.
I better tell you who I am.
am.
My name is Rick Allen. They call me Captain Rick, and this is our Oceans of Fun show. And we're going to do all kinds of fun things, and they kind of have a nautical theme to them. And if you're not real careful along the way, you might learn a little something too about scouting. Because I'm a former scout myself. When I was barely knee-high to a bunny rabbit, just about like that, I was in the Cub Scouts, and I went on up and became a scout, and it helped me all through the rest of my life. And some of the things we're going to do and talk about here tonight will show that to you. But there are a couple of things that I wanted to tell everybody that were very, very important, and that's why I bring these two ropes with me here, because I always bring them just to remind me of those two things. But I was standing back here, and I was thinking, and I couldn't remember what those two things were. Now, I did remember what one of the things were, but I couldn't remember what both of them were, so I'll just tell you the one. The first one is that I need everybody sitting nice and straight up in your chair. That connects all the wires up to your ears, up to your brain, that way you can see and hear everything. And most important of all, I need great big smiles on everybody's faces here tonight. Boy, we have some wonderful looking people out there, don't we? Well, another thing that I remember was that when you see something up here, do you know what you're supposed to do? Yeah, you're supposed to clap really, really loud. Can everybody do that? If you see something up here tonight that you don't like, I want everybody to clap really loud anyway. Okay, can you do that?
No, not everyone, just clap.
And if you see something that was funny, chances are it's meant to be that way. So it's okay to go ahead and laugh about it. But you gotta laugh about it. Because you see, in a little while, the show's gonna be over. You're gonna be going home, and the moms and dads are gonna think you're a little crackers if you laugh about something that was funny that happened right now later. Well, in fact, I see them back there shaking their heads. I think they agree with me. Well, if you do those two things, I think we're going to have a really good time. You see something up here that you like? Laugh really, really loud. And if you see something up here that you like, I want everybody to clap really, really loud. Well, you know, a lot of people, they say, Captain Rick, well, they call me Captain Rick because that's my name. They say, Captain Rick, how did you get started performing magic in the first place? Well, I started a long, long time ago, just like I said, when I was just barely knee-high to a bunny rabbit back then. I didn't even know how to get started. Someone told me the best way to get started was that there was money floating around all in the air. Well, now, folks, I didn't know whether that was true or not, but I sure thought it was a good idea that if there was money floating all in the air, I could just reach up in the air, grab some money out of the air. Probably sounds like a good idea to you, too, doesn't it? Back there, yeah. Well, I would go around all day long practicing, trying to reach up in the air, trying to grab that money. In fact, I was so sure that someday I'd be able to do that trick that I even went out and got a bucket just like this. I thought that if I got a whole bunch of money, I could put it down in the bucket, keep it nice and safe that way. Well, I'd go around all day long, reaching up in the air, trying to grab money out of there. I was never able to do that. In fact, I was almost ready to give up. But that's when I found out one of what they call life lessons. I found out that sometimes, right when you're ready to give up, are when the very best things in the world happen to you. Well, I reached up in the air one day and nothing happened as usual. Right after that, I reached up in the air and I was able to pull some money out of the air just like that. Well, true to my word, I took that money, put it down in my bucket for safety. One day, my elbow started bothering me a little bit. I reached right behind my elbow, and sure enough, I pulled some money out from back there too. One day, I was walking down the street, minding my own business, not bothering a soul. My legs started bothering me a little bit. I stopped and reached right behind my leg, and sure enough,
I saw you
I pulled
keep
someone
going.
out. I put it down in the bucket. But that's when I saw the most important part. See, I found out that sometimes young men will take money, and well, sometimes they'll hide it in their ear, just like that. Did you know that money was in your ear? No, you would have spent it if you would have known it was in your ear. Well, we'll put it down for safekeeping too. But that's when I found out the biggest secret of all. Because that's when I found out that sometimes young men will actually take money and, well, sometimes they'll hide it in their hair, just like that there. Did you know that money was in your hair? No, you would have spent it anyway. Well, we'll put it down in the bucket. But that's when I found out the most important part of the whole thing. See, I found out I wasn't the only one that could do this trick. In fact, I found out most anybody. Well, in fact, you guys could. Would you like to try?
Yeah!
Back there, would you like to try?
Yeah.
This is all you got to do. When I count to 3, I want you just to reach up in the air, grab some money out here, and hold it in your hand very, very tight. Is everybody ready? On the count of 3, just reach up in the air. Don't get greedy on me. Wait till we count to 3, okay? In fact, you guys count to 3 with me. Ready? Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Grab that money out of the air. Hold on to it very, very tightly in your hand. Don't peek, sir, or it'll disappear right out of your hand. Now, we're going to count to 3 again. When we count to 3 this time, I want you to take that money and toss it up here in the bucket, just like you were if you were tossing a ball up here. You don't have to stand up or anything. Just toss it right on up here. Is everybody ready? Count to 3 with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Toss it up here. Oh, I got it. Right back there. Right there. Don't hold out on me. Right back there. Whoa, that's good. That's good. That's good. Whoa, thanks for sharing your wealth with me, folks. I appreciate it. You know, though, someone told me that if I practiced really, really hard, never, ever gave up, that someday I could make real big money doing this. Well, now, folks, I found out that's true, too, because you see, now I make real big money, just like that.
He had a tiny quarter.
Whoa, look at the size of that one. Well, now that I've done something with my hands, you might want to do something with yours. Put them together and clap really, really loud. You know, I told you that we were going to learn a couple of things, and one of the first things that I learned when I got interested in wanting to become a captain of a ship was that you have to be prepared. And it's very, very important. And that's something I know that you're taught about being prepared. And when I first went out and tried to get a job on a ship, I was just a young little swabby, and the captain of the ship came up to me and he said, well, you know, if you're going to work on the ship, you've got to know how to tie knots. And I said, oh, well, I can tie a knot. And he said, well, let me see what you can do tying a knot. So he handed me a piece of rope, just like this one right here. And I took that rope, and I took it and untangled it first. There we go. And all you have to do is just loop it around just like this. You loop this tag down in the middle just like that. Give it a nice good hold like that, and you end up with a knot in the rope just like that right there. Now, the captain of the ship said, well, that's pretty good, but you know, I really would rather prefer that you put that knot right down there in the middle of the rope. I said, no problem, sir. I moved it right on down to the middle of the rope. Then he said, I'd rather you have it down at the end. And you're absolutely right. It's a slip knot. It's a real slip knot. You can slip it there. You can slip it there. In fact, you can even slip it right off the end of the rope, just like that. There. You know what? I think I'm going to keep this. I might put it in my breakfast in the morning for my cereal. Might be kind of crunchy. Well, you know, though, another thing that he taught me was, he said, when you're on the ship, he said, you have to make sure that your shoes are tied. Because if your shoes aren't tied, then you can slip, you can fall overboard, and that could be a real problem, wouldn't it? So you always got to be prepared, making sure that you're always prepared. So he taught me how to tie a knot really, really fast, a bow knot, just like that one right there. But the problem is that sometimes when you have a bow knot, you know, and you go all day long, sometimes it gets a little twisted up, just like this here. Well, he taught me something. He said, you know, if you take that bow knot, just like that, give it a real good pull, just like that there. But he said, if you blow on it, it disappears. Just like that. Well, I learned all about knots and how to tie them. And when you get a little older and you get into scouting itself, they'll teach you a lot about knot tying. And you'll also be able to earn a merit badge if you learn how to tie a lot of different knots. And that's a very good thing. In fact, there's a lot of merit badges. Did you know that even performing magic tricks, that you can get a merit badge for doing it? It's true. You actually. So, I want to give somebody an opportunity right now to come up to help me out. Now, I'm looking for somebody very, very special because I never have people who are saying, hit me, hit me, hit me. You have to be sitting nice and flat on your bottoms, sitting up nice and straight, very big smiles on your faces. And I need somebody very, very special to come up and help out. And that's why I see so many great smiles out there here today. But you know what? I think this young man right here would be ideal to come up. Would you like to come up and help me out? All right, come on up. You didn't get chosen this time. I might need some more people a little bit later on. But right now, let's find out who this nice young man is. What's your name, sir? Bronson. Nice to meet you, Bronson. My name's Captain Rick. Bronson, would you do me a favor and step right over here on this side? Turn and face everybody. Stand up nice and straight. Feet together. There we go. Hands down to your side. Great big smile on your face. There we go. Bronson, would you like to help me out here? Because we're going to do something with another piece of rope that I have right back here. And a pair of scissors right here. In fact, if you'll hold on to those scissors for a moment. We're going to take this rope right here. And as you already know, every piece of rope has two ends to it, right? Well, this piece of rope is no different. Here's one end of the rope right here. Here's the other end of the rope right here. Now, Bronson, if we take and we cut one end of the rope off right there, we take another end and cut that rope off right there, then that gives us a piece of rope with any ends on it, right, Bronson? No, I'm just fooling you. Actually, I'm just fooling you. I think I fooled him back there, though. If we come way down here, Bronson, to the center, that's the middle of the rope right there, right? And if we come up like this, all we have to do is I want you just to take and cut that rope right there. Just take the scissors and cut it right in two, right in half, right in two,
Go Branson. Not Branson. Go Branson.
right in half. Anytime today, you're looking at it. All you have to do is just give it a little snip just like that there, okay? Now, we have two pieces of rope that are exactly the same size. We're all set to go here. And, oh, wait a minute. No, they're not exactly the same size. One piece is just a little bit longer than the other. If you'll trim that right off there, even it right up there. So you have two pieces. There you go. Watch your fingers. Watch my fingers. Let me give you the help there. Right there is where you're trying to cut it. All you got to do is just give it a snip just like that. Now, we're all set. We have two pieces of rope that are exactly the same size. And, oh, wait a minute. Well, I'll tell you what, we better quit cutting up the rope, because if we keep cutting up the end of a rope, we're going to pretty soon be at the end of our rope, aren't we? That's a terrible place to be. I knew a guy that one time he ended up at the end of his rope. It's okay, he was just hanging around. You'll get it later, that's okay.
I get to go.
Well, we're going to take that rope and I'm going to wrap it right up in my hand just like this. In fact, what I want you to do is we're going to make this rope go back together again into one piece. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Wiggle your fingers over the top, say the magical words. Well, that's a good magical word, but that's not our magical word today.
I know it.
Our magical word today is woogie woogie. There we go. And as everybody can see, he has miraculously made the rope go back together again into one. Except for the knot in the middle of the back.
I knew I saw the knot.
No. Actually, I'm just having some fun with you. Okay? In fact, we're going to take and somewhere I know what we forgot. We forgot the magic wand. Oh, there. All you have to do is just take the magic wand, wave it right over the top just like that, okay? Just take the wand, just gonna wave it right over the top, okay? Are you all set? Just take the wand, wave it right over just like that. Okay? Watch where you face it. Here we go. Just take it, wave it right over. Be very careful with it though, because it's very valuable. It breaks. You broke my wand. That was an accident, wasn't it? I mean, accidents happen sometimes. You didn't mean to break it, did you? No, that's okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Another thing that I learned in scouting is that you always have to be prepared. So I always bring with me another magic wand. Now, all you have to do is just take the magic wand, wave it right over the top just like that. Are you all set? Okay, just take the wand. He's going to wave it right over the top just like that. Wait a minute. Just take the wand, wave it right over the top just like that. Wait a minute. What are you trying to do to me? Just take the wand, wave it right over the top. Now cut that out. Wait a minute. I know what we forgot. We forgot. I've got another wand here. This one's all right. Hold on to that one carefully.
What's gonna happen?
Wave it right over the top. Say the magical words. There we go. And let's see if we were able to make that rope go back together again into one piece. By golly, you did make it go back together. How did you do that? You're supposed to say very well. Let's give him a nice Well, another fun thing about scouting that I always enjoyed was that you get to explore things. And in fact, that's one of the reasons I decided I wanted to become a captain of a ship. Because you see, that way I could travel all over the world. And I could explore different places and see all kinds of different sites. You know, you don't even have to travel, though, to explore. You can read in books all about different places and different adventures and everything, and it's a lot of fun. But in order to travel on a ship, you have to be ready. So one of the things that I found out was that a ship has a ship's wheel. And I have this piece of paper here, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to cut it like this just a little bit. And I'm going to cut that like that. Then we're going to cut another little slice out of it. Right there. Then we're going to cut another piece off the bottom right there. And in order to be ready to sail on the ship, you now have a ship's wheel in order to steer yourself on the ship. Once you steer yourself on the ship, you've got to have a destination. You have to have a plan of where you're going to go. That's also very, very important. And on ships, they have telescopes that they use. Now, on a ship, it's called a spy scope. And it looks something like this right here. And you can look through that spy scope, and you can spy all kinds of things. But when you're looking, as the captain looks, he's always looking for land. And look, over there, land ahoy, I see it right over there in the corner. And I'm going to sail over to that land. And when I get over to that land, I'm going to know that it's an island. And do you know how I know that it's an island? Because when I get off the ship and I start exploring the island, I look around. And as I look around, I begin to see things. For instance, I begin to see a palm tree. Yes.
Beach. It's a beach.
There.
Not money.
Got coconuts on it. We pick all the coconuts. So you can explore and travel all around. And like I said, you don't need to actually go to these places. You can use your imagination. And you can envision and visualize and pretend that you're going to all kinds of different places and doing all kinds of adventures. You can travel through time. You can go into the future. You can go back into the past. You can go to different places that you've never seen before. You can do all of that with just your imaginations. And that's a large part of using magic, is using your imagination. And I want to show you something right now. In order to do this, I do need someone to come up and help me out. Remember, I'm always looking for someone. Never for people who say, pick me. Always looking for someone sitting up nice and straight, great big smiles on your face. Boy, we have so many wonderful people out there. But you know what? I think maybe we found somebody that would be ideal to come up and help out. And that would maybe be, well, maybe somebody will do that. Would you like to come up and help me out? Come on up. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Right over here in the office, right there. Turn and face everybody. Over just a little bit. No, back this way just a little bit. No, back up just a little bit. Perfect, right on the trap door. Now, I have 3 red balls right here. And what I want you to do, what's your name? Nicholas. What I want you to do is I want you to point to any one of those 3 red balls. It's going to go with ball number 3 right there. Nicholas, what I want you to do is hold your hand out nice and flat, just like that. Because I'm going to take that red ball and I'm going to put it right in your hand. Once you turn your hand over like that, give it a great big squeeze, as tightly as you can. Here we go. Keep your hand turned down, face down, squeeze real tight, just like that. Now that leaves 2 more balls right over here. Now don't open your hand until I tell you to, but you have a very important job to do. You know what that job is? Your job is to make sure that nothing gets out of your hand. Can you do that for me? And more importantly, that nothing else gets into your hand. Can you do that? Excellent, I do. Well, I have 2 more balls right here. I'm going to let this young man right here point to each one of those. That one right there. We're going to take it. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to lay it right over here. Really? Just like that. Now, we're going to take that ball, I'm going to put it in my hand. I'm going to give it a great big squeeze like that. Did you feel it happen? You didn't feel it happen? Did you guys see it happen?
Yeah.
You didn't see it happen? Well, it did happen. I squeezed that ball so tight in my hand that it just appeared right. And he was gone. Nicholas, come right over here. Open your hand up slowly. Look at that. There is ball number 4. Hey, that was kind of fun. We'll try that again. Let's try it one more time, okay? I'll get this one back. You can point to the same one or a different one this time. It's going to go with number 2 this time. We're going to put it right over here. We're going to put the ball right in your hand, just like we did the first time. Give it a good squeeze right there. There we go. Turn your hand over. Hold on to it real tight. And open your hand until I tell you to. That leaves this one right here. Now, I'm going to take that ball and I'm going to put it in my hand just like that. Now, when I put it in my hand, I'm going to give it a great big squeeze like that. I see you looking back there, sir. The ball is still in my hand. I wouldn't fool you for a moment. Put it right in my hand just like that. Everybody ready? Here we go. On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2. You know, the first time it went invisible. You didn't actually get to see it go, did you? Would you like to see it go visibly? Actually travel out of my hand, right up into the air, right about here, drop right down into, bring your hand over, right there, okay, here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. Is everybody ready? You're going to actually see it go. Ready? Count to 3 with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And right into the hand, just like I don't think they like it. I think we better go back the other way. I'll tell you what, Nicholas, you hold on, you use both hands. Hold on to There we go, real tight. There we go. I know when you got the two in there, it's a little bit tighter. There we go. We're going to take that ball. I'm going to put it right in my hand, just like this. I'm going to give it a great big squeeze like this. I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3. Did you feel it that time, Nicholas? Don't open it yet. Did you feel it that time? You didn't feel it. He must not be feeling well. Did you guys see it that time? No. Didn't see it either? Well, it did happen. It's G-O-N-E. It is gone, 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 right out of my hand, just like that. Turn your hand over, Nicholas. Open it up slowly. Look at that. There's ball number 1.
3.
There's ball number 2. And there's ball number 3 right over there. How did you do that, Everybody stand up nice and straight. Put your feet together, hands down to your side, pull your tummy in, hold your head up real high, smile real big, take a great big bow, and everybody's going to give you a great big round. Wow.
I think I know how he does it.
That was always just kind of something fun to do. But, I hope you don't mind. There's all kinds of different water. There's like this water is purified water. There's seawater. There's all kinds of different kinds of water. But this is spring water. Do you know how I know that it's spring water? No, well, it says on it that it's spring water, but I know that it's spring water because it springs just like that. Right there. Oh, wait a minute. That's okay. You can groan if you want. We all have to make choices in our lives. So sometimes there's small choices like, well, whether we want anchovies on our pizza or not. But sometimes we have to make really big choices in our lives about, well, whether we want to get involved in drug and alcohol and things like that. Well, I want to try a little magical experiment right now. And it's all about making the right choices. And as you grow up and you're in scouting and everything, I know that you're taught to make the right choices. So we're going to see right now whether you guys can make the right choices or not. In fact, I need not one, but 2 different people to help out this time. And if you already helped out, put your hand down so I can use as many of the people as I can. How about the young man right back there on the end? Yeah, right there. If you'd like to come up. And let's see, we need more and more to come up, and that really be you right there. Would you like to come up? Come on up.
Seriously?
Step right up here. You stay right there on that side. You step right over here on this side. What's your name?
Blaze.
Blaze. Nice to meet you, Blaze. Captain Rick. And what's your name? Jackson. Nice to meet you, Jackson. Well, we're going to make a choice in the decision. See, I have right over here some colored handkerchiefs. I have I have an orange one, a pink one, a blue one, and a yellow one right there. Now, one of these handkerchiefs is my absolute favorite colored handkerchief. It could be the blue one, the orange one, the yellow one, or the pink one. We're going to see if you guys can make a choice of which one you think might be my favorite colored handkerchief. Now, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you hold one side right there, the other hand right over here on this side right there. Now, we're going to have you pick one of those colors. But before we do that, I have something else over here. I have a bag. And inside of this bag is my favorite colored handkerchief. Now, we're going to see if through a process of elimination, we can pick my favorite colored handkerchief. And I'm going to let this gentleman right here, if you hold on to the bag, just right up like that. There we go. Don't peek. Here we go. We're going to let you pick a color. Now, it could be the pink, yellow, orange, blue. Which one do you think I think? The blue one. There we go. We're going to take that one off. We're going to let you hold on to that right there. And I'll get one of those. Right there. And we're going to see if my favorite color is indeed I'm going to let you hold on to that because I've got another job for you to do. We're going to take the bag back from you, and I'm going to let you reach down inside the bag. Now, there is only one handkerchief inside the bag. You're going to see if it's my favorite handkerchief. You're all set? I want you just to reach down in there, but before you do that, you know, we're going to show here tonight, I think we should add just a little bit of pizzazz to it. Do you know what pizzazz means? Pizzazz means getting excited. You know how you see those magicians on TV, and when they do something really spectacular, the assistants put their arm out like this and go, ta-da! You've seen that happen to you, yeah. This is what I want you to do. When you reach down inside of that bag, pull that handkerchief out of the bag. I want you to pull it way, hold it way up in the air. I want you to hold your handkerchief way up in the air. And at the same time, I want you both to go as loud as you can. Ta-da! Are you ready? Okay. Reach right down in there. Now don't forget when you pull it out, hold it way up in the air and go ta-da. Okay? You all set? Okay. You know, hold it up, say ta-da real loud. Are you ready? Reach right down in there. Now don't forget, when he pulls it up, he's going to say ta-da at the same time. Okay? Are you all set? Okay. Go ahead, reach right down in there, pull that handkerchief out. Let's see if it matches. My favorite color is blue. You did pick the blue handkerchief. That is my favorite one. You guys did a real good job. Right back over here. And back to your seat. Back to your seat. There we go. Well, like I said, making choices, making decisions are very, very important. And let's hope that they make the right choices and the right decisions for the rest of their lives, okay? All right. Well, I want to show everybody something new. And in order to do this, I need someone, I need actually 2 more people to help me out, have help out here. And that would maybe be, well, maybe somebody like, maybe somebody like you right there. Would you like to come up? And let's see here if we can get that gentleman right back there. Would you like to come up? Yeah, come on up. Let's give him a nice round of applause. There we go. Let's find out who these nice gentlemen are. What's your name, sir? Elijah. And your name, sir? Jack and Elijah. We're going to take some handkerchiefs right here. And first of all, we're going to take these 2. Elijah, we're going to tie them together. Just
This shirt.
there we go. And we're going to take those, and I want you to hold your hand out nice and flat. We're going to take those 2 handkerchiefs, we're going to put them right in there. You hold on to them, okay? There we go. Now, over here, I have a yellow handkerchief. Now, we're going to take that yellow handkerchief, and I'm going to put it right down inside the bag. Okay? We're going to put it right down inside the bag, just like that. I'm going to wave my hand over the top, and wait a minute, I thought, man, I'm going to put it right down inside the bag, just like that. Wave it right over the top. Wait a minute, we're going to take the handkerchief, we're going to put it right down inside the bag, just I forgot to zip the bottom of the bag up.
Zip it.
There we go. And it's completely empty, exactly as it should be. What I want you to do, I want you to take that yellow handkerchief, place it right down inside the bag. Do you remember what our magic words were? Close enough. There we go. Take the magic wand, wave it right over the top. Say the magical words. There we go. And let's see. Reach right down in there, take that handkerchief right out of the bag.
I guess it's red. Alright. It's in, go check your pockets. It's in your pocket.
Wait a minute. I think I know what happened. You're holding those right there. Look at this right here. You guys are really, really good, aren't you? Right now, we're almost at the end of our program, and I want to show you one more thing. Now, another part of scouting that's very, very important, and that is being kind to each other and being kind to other people and helping other people out. Well, let's see if we can do something right now that shows when working together how we can create something very, very good. And in order to do this, I need not one, not two, not three, but 4 different people to come up to help out. And let's see, how about right there? Would you like to come up? And let's see, if you already helped out, put your hand down. How about right back there, second seat over? Right there, yeah, come on up. There we go. And let's see here, how about you right there? Yeah, you right there. Let's see another one here on this side. How about right on the very end? There we go. All right. Come on up, line up right up over here. Face everybody. There we go. Not everybody. Okay, now you move down this way. Need a little bit of space between you guys. Okay. Got to make it look big. There we go. Scoot over just a little bit more. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Now watch very, very closely with what we're going to do right now. I have a tube here, tube of paper, and white handkerchief right here. You're going to take that white handkerchief and
Where's the white book? You shoot at something. Wait, open the paper. It's going to be yellow. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be yellow. It's going to be red. It's going to be yellow. I called it! It's going to be yellow. It's going to be red. It's going to be red. What's going to be red? It's going to be blue. It's going to be blue. Rainbow! It's going to be white. I'm guessing white. Orange. White? Purple? I saw it. No! I got it too! Red. I got it. It's going to be white. No, it's not.
it's red. Let's see.
White. Red.
There
I
we go.
got it. Dad. No, it's rainbow. You're going to turn it back to white. You're going to turn it back to white. You're going to turn it. Alright, what's happening? Back into white. Yeah, there's a white one in there. It's going to be rainbow. It's going to be white. It's going to be black. It's going to be a diamond. So proud. Oh, wait.
We're going to see if by all of us working together, we're able to do something very, very magical. When I wave the wand over the top, I want everybody to say our magical words. Remember what they are?
Boogie, boogie.
Here we go. Ready? On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's see if it worked.
It's going to be
Let's see if we were able to create something very, very wonderful.
Where's it one color?
Wait a minute.
It's never ending. It never ends. It's white, yellow. I all together. I got it. It was cool. Wait, what if the whole chart's on? Question. It looks like a popsicle. It looks like toilet paper. It looks like I need a crispy. Wait, is it turning into blue? It never ended.
together and sharing together.
Question, was there multiple different things?
And let's give them a great big round of applause. And I have something for everybody at the end of our program. And I have a booklet that has some amazing magic tricks that you can learn to do yourself. If you're interested in magic, you can learn from this, and you can also go to your library, and the library has books on magic. And listen up, guys, and this is very, very important. The Scouts themselves have a magic book that you can get through your scouting office. Just ask them about it. And it's got a lot of really, really cool tricks in it. In fact, that last trick that I showed you is in that one. So you can learn how to do all the things marvelous things.
Wow.
It's the magic of scouting. I hope everybody enjoyed our Oceans of Fun show this time, and I hope you're going to come back and meet me again. Thanks a lot, everybody.
My name is Jim Loomis. We are Pack 104, Maumee St. Joe's, and we had Captain Rick come give a magic show for our Cub Scouts. It was a great presentation. The boys had an awesome time. It was very fun. He kept it light. It was very educational. It was scout oriented, and we had a great time.